What happens when a decorated war hero returns home only to be invisible in plain sight? This is Marcus Thompson's story. A man whose janitor's uniform became his disguise, hiding a past that would leave you speechless. But when three arrogant officers decided to humiliate him in front of dozens of witnesses, they had no idea they were about to face the shock of their lives. Stay until the end, because what happens next will restore your faith in justice and remind you why we should never judge a book by its cover. Fort Braxton's officers. Mess hall was buzzing with the usual evening crowd when Marcus Thompson wheeled his cleaning cart through the entrance. At 45 years old, with graying temples and calloused hands, he'd been the base's night janitor for 3 months. To most people, he was invisible. Just another face in coveralls doing the thankless work that kept their world clean. But tonight was different. Tonight, 3 young lieutenants, fresh out of West Point with chips on their shoulders bigger than their experience, were feeling particularly entitled. Marcus continued cleaning in silence, his jaw set, hands steady. But the lieutenants weren't done. They were about to cross a line that would change everything. The 3 officers surrounded Marcus, their voices getting louder, more aggressive. Other soldiers watched in uncomfortable silence. Some wanted to intervene, but military hierarchy is a powerful thing. That's when Lieutenant Rodriguez made his biggest mistake. As Rodriguez grabbed Marcus's sleeve, the fabric pulled tight against his shoulder, revealing something that made Captain Sarah Mitchell, who'd been quietly observing from across the room, freeze in recognition. What happened next left everyone speechless. As Marcus slowly rolled up his sleeve, the room saw not just one tattoo, but a canvas of honor. The distinctive trident of the Navy SEALs, combat infantry badge, Ranger tab, and underneath it all, a series of small marks that made Captain Mitchell's eyes widen in recognition. Captain Mitchell had recognized the marks. Each small tattoo represented a confirmed kill by one of America's most elite snipers. Marcus Thompson wasn't just a janitor. He was Master Chief Petty Officer Marcus "Ghost" Thompson, Navy SEAL sniper, with over 200 combat missions and a Congressional Medal of Honor that he'd never worn in public. The 3 lieutenants stood frozen, their faces drained of color, finally understanding the magnitude of their mistake. They weren't just looking at a janitor, they were looking at a legend. The base commander later issued a formal apology and invited Marcus to dinner in the officers' club. Not as a janitor, but as the war hero he'd always been. The 3 lieutenants? They spent the next month in sensitivity training and community service, learning a lesson they'd never forget. Marcus Thompson's story reminds us that heroes walk among us every day, often hiding behind the humblest disguises. The person serving your coffee, cleaning your office, or fixing your car might be someone who once stood between you and danger, asking for nothing in return but the chance to serve again. Every shadow hides a hero. Every uniform tells a story, and every person deserves your respect until they prove otherwise. Remember that, and you'll never look at the world the same way again.